All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is a brand new week. It is a brand new start to another week of the Bud Light debacle that's going on continuously for the last 7+ weeks. It is amazing to see what's happening to this company. And now we have the official numbers for the downfall of this week, and it has reached almost 30%, ladies and gentlemen. Almost 30% in a sales drop compared to the year prior for Bud Light. It is honestly freaking incredible to witness how much money this company is losing, all because they wanted to partner with the ultimate grifter himself, Dylan Mulvaney. We're going to get into this article, guys, from Newsweek, where it says Bud Light sales have dropped 29.5% in the latest week since the boycott calls. Let's get into it, guys. But of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like so you can push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 22,000 subscribers. So it says Bud Light has continued to suffer declining fortunes as the boycott of the beer brand over its partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney is reported to have had a lasting impact on its sales and revenue. At this point, I think it's pretty safe to not even call it a boycott anymore. As many of you guys have mentioned in my comments, at this point in time, the customers are gone, right? They're not boycotting anymore. Boycotting is basically saying, I want your product, but I'm refusing to use it because of XYZ. At this point, considering that there's so much competition in the beer market, considering that there's so much options out there, people are gone. They're just gone. They're not even boycotting. They're just gone. They don't want to deal with it anymore. You guys made your choice, right? So you made your choice to partner with Dylan Mulvaney. That was what you thought was a good idea. Now we're showing you how good of an idea it was, and the customers are gone. 20 to 30% of the customers are gone. It is over. It is done with. Just accept the lower number of sales. You're going to have to restructure your entire company for 20 to 30% less in sales. That's just the reality you live in right now, and it's probably not going to change for quite some time. It says, according to the data by Bump Williams Consulting and Nielsen IQ provided to Newsweek, in the week ending May 20th, sales volumes, the number of units of beer sold, declined almost 30% compared to the same period last year, while sales revenue was down 25.7% on the same week in 2022. Now, I did mention that when they came out with these numbers as the summer approaches with Memorial Day, that we were going to see the true impact of what's going on, right? Because you guys got to remember, the beer selling season is in the summer, and it usually starts with Memorial Day. So we were going to see the first iteration of just how bad it actually is once they started comparing this year's summer numbers to last year's summer numbers. And as I expected, it grew by almost 5% compared to the last week prior. Now we're at almost a 30% sales drop, which is massive. It's massive. And we also have videos showcasing just how bad Bud Light is actually being avoided, and it's hilarious to see. So let's continue. It says Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light's parent company, has been accused of alienating its traditional customer base with the partnership, while some LGBTQ plus campaigners have also criticized the company for not defending its ties with the ultimate grifter, Dylan Mulvaney. It says brand strategists have criticized the brewery over its response to the backlash, which they characterize as being peppered with knee-jerk reactions that only extended the controversy. And I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I said it before that their decision to try to pander to both sides after they panicked with the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing, that was a big mistake. That was a very big mistake. Once you decide to go woke, you might as well see it through. If you don't see it through, now the woke are going to boycott you as well. Now you lost both sides, right? You could have had one side. Granted, that's a much smaller side that you chose to virtue signal to. So you wanted to virtue signal to a single-digit percentage of the population. So you were okay with less sales automatically right off the bat. You were willing to go down that route because you chose to do it with Dylan Mulvaney. But once you decided to say, okay, shit, now we virtue signal to Dylan Mulvaney, what do we do? What do we do? We start panicking. Now they want to virtue signal to the conservatives or the right-wing people, and now both people feel alienated. Both people feel like you are full of crap, and they realize what you are. Once you bypass the uncanny valley of virtue signaling, which basically means there's a fine point, right? There's a strong fine point of when people can realize it's virtue signaling versus when people can't. Once you pass that fine line and people know that you're just pandering at the end of the day, which we all know corporations, that's what they do, right? But unfortunately, there's a lot of idiots out there that don't know that. So once those idiots out there realize it, that's when you messed up. That's when you are going to lose on both sides, especially when the woke and the non-woke come together and boycott you together. That's a problem. That is a major problem for you, and Bud Light is experiencing it big time. It says, while the company's global CEO, Michael Ducaris, said on May 4th that the declining Bud Light sales represented about 1% of Anheuser-Busch's global volume, the latest figures suggest the backlash is having a lasting impact on the beer brand's U.S. revenue. And we've been saying that since the beginning. This is not about what it is doing globally. This is about what the virtue signaling is happening in the United States, right? Dylan Mulvaney wasn't used globally. Dylan Mulvaney was used in the United States as expected because everybody has an obsession with virtue signaling right now to trans people. So they decided to use Dylan Mulvaney to try to get some sort of virtue signaling points online, and they thought it was going to increase sales. They thought all these young drinkers were going to be like, oh my God, this beer is so gay, I cannot wait to drink it. And that's not what happened at all. They ended up losing so much money, not only in market value, they lost over $16 billion in market value, but now it's been confirmed that we're damn near at 30% sales loss year over year. That is such an insanely high number for a company like this. I don't even know what that number even equates to. I just know it is massively high, even just in the United States, let alone globally, because I guarantee you this is starting to affect them globally. Even if it's smaller compared to the US, it's still affecting them, and we need to be here for it. So it says in 4 weeks to May 20th, Bud Light sales revenue, the brand's dollar income was 24.3% lower than the same time last year, while co-brand Budweiser recorded a 10.5% hit in the same period. As previously reported in Newsweek, in the 4 weeks to April 29th, which covers the first month of the controversy, the beer brand saw an overall decline in sales revenue of 17.2% off of a 21.4% drop in volume. That's huge, man. That is absolutely huge. And you know what? I want to show you guys a video really quick that showcases just how bad this boycott is actually getting, if you still want to call it a boycott. This video was posted on Twitter. Let me showcase it to you guys. It's a really short video, but this is a kind of like display that they did in a store with Bud Light and Budweiser, and they try to make it all American. They put American flags on it. They made it look like a tank, and nobody was buying this shit during Memorial Day. Look at this madness really quick. I had to lower the volume because it has some obnoxious music that I don't want to get boycotted to, but just look at this. Look at this. They really thought that they could make this into a big American fixture, right? Like they tried to make it into a tank, and nobody was nobody was buying it. Nobody was buying it. Oh my God. This is great. It is so great to see people sticking by their guns and saying, fuck this company, man. Honestly, it really is fantastic. And I love talking about this because, again, the wins are just coming in left and right. Left and right. It is so good to see. It says Dave Williams, Vice President for Analytics and Insights at Bump Williams Consulting, said at the time that the results raises questions about the potential long-term implications. Why are we even questioning whether or not there's going to be long-term implication? It's very clear that people have moved on. It's very clear that people have decided to say Bud Light is not for them anymore. It's very clear. So I don't know why they're trying to pretend as if this is not a thing anymore when it definitely is. It says 2 back-to-back 4-week sales results suggest the effects of the boycott have only worsened in May. However, elevated beer sales in the summer of 2022 could make the decline from 1 month to the next this year appear greater. Well, that's the point. It is supposed to appear greater, right? You're comparing to yourself year over year, right? So if people are buying increased volumes of beer at a certain time of the year and you're not selling that beer the next year, that's a problem on your company. That goes to show that you made the wrong decision. And we've said time and time again that the difference in percentage was going to rise when we start comparing it to the summer month. We knew that. We knew that right off the bat. But that still makes the story true. It makes it that you have made the wrong decision. And now you are suffering the consequences of said partnership with good old trans grifter Dylan Mulvaney. And now the sales volumes are down almost 30%. That is massive, massive. You are losing 30% just at the beginning of the summer. I can only imagine what's going to happen going into the summer as we continue through the months. So I'm going to obviously stay on this story, keep reporting it to you guys, and give you all the insight as Bud Light continues to absolutely get destroyed in every way imaginable. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.